Welcome to the Help Her Be Brave podcast show, where we have great ideas on how you can help save lives. I'm Amy Ford.
And I'm Jessica Russo.
So today I'm super pumped because we have a power team duo, Deanie and Katie Willis, a mom and daughter team.
Yes.
With At the Table. And we both agree that they are our favorite people ever.
They're amazing. So At the Table, it's this venue that started in their home and then this shed that they call a shed, but it was like
a she shed. It was
it was amazing.
Yeah.
And then they had this dream to have an event venue. They opened it up, like God miraculously gave them this beautiful space that was an old home, and they remodeled. They went to open right before COVID hit, and the story since then has been amazing. But they want to make a place for everyone at the table, a place for people to be seen and heard and feel loved. And if you don't have a family, we want to be your family. If you don't know what a family dinner looks like, we want to show you what that is. And I just love their heart in that. And then they came up with At the Table Nonprofit, which is they want to be able to provide for nonprofits or individuals a place to celebrate and find healing and a beautiful space that may not be able to have access or finances to be able to afford it. So I'm super excited to share with them today.
Yeah, they are amazing. Let's bring them on. Hey, Deanie and Katie.
Good morning. We're so excited to be here.
Yeah. Well, so me and Jessica, y'all are our favorites.
We love y'all.
We love y'all so much, and we love dreaming with you both. And just what you've created has just touched our hearts, and what you've built, but then now the extension of what you built to help other people is just beautiful. And so we kind of gave our viewers and listeners a little bit of a heads up. But why don't you guys share just your story and your why with starting At the Table?
That's a great question. And first of all, thank y'all for having us. Like Mom said, we're so glad to be here. And y'all are truly our favorites, not just saying that. So yes, it's a mutual feeling. We love you guys. So I'll let Mom talk a little bit about At the Table. Well, At the Table is just where it all comes together. We started out very small in a little shed that was remodeled, and God definitely had different plans for us. And about a year and a half after we moved into the little tiny shed that was remodeled, He put us into this, it's just an altar on a hill, really. At the Table sits high top, a little high point, really around here probably. And it's just a sweet spot. We've been so blessed to have God's direction in it. It was His timing that brought us there. We looked for a year trying to find a place for At the Table, because we knew it had to be special, and we knew it was going to be God ordained. And He took a year to show us the perfect spot. And it's literally just about a quarter of a mile from where we were originally. All in His timeline. Long story short, His timeline is perfect. And now we have big, long tables and beautiful kitchen to cook in, and we just love people. We just love people.
I know y'all are the best at loving people, and you, both of you two, you guys have just such a special bond, and y'all are just so sweet and kind to each other. The most beautiful mom-daughter relationship. How do you feel like you and Katie, how that bond became to be, how you guys are so strong and how y'all work together every day,
and still like each other?
Yeah, really. I heard you call her Precious the other day. You're precious. So sweet.
That's a great question. And I think it's the most common question we get. And then the immediate follow-up to how do y'all work together is, I wish I could do this with my mom. And I think that is always the follow-up, highlights so significantly what moms do. We're desperate for mamas. So Mom and I have a pretty unique story. I am an only child, and my dad passed away when I was 12 years old. So that was 18 years ago now. We actually just truly celebrated the anniversary of his passing on March 1st. So he's in heaven. He's with Jesus. And that was a very defining moment it was the defining moment, I would say, of both of our lives. So from that point forward, Mom became my best friend, and we've walked through codependency. We've walked through hard seasons. We've walked through depression. Like, Mom is chef extraordinaire, and she didn't cook for 4 years after my dad died.
Wow.
And I ate chilies every night of the week, and I was very sad. But yeah, that started forging that bond between us. So it's just kind of grown from there, that relationship, and now being business partners. And she's also just my friend. Like, I love hanging out with her, but it takes communication. It takes getting mad at each other sometimes, but knowing that we still love each other. But I think God has given Mom a very significant mantle of motherhood that she is passing on to me. And honestly, everybody that walks into that venue gets a piece of that as well. So yeah, that's kind of where we come from. I do have to add one little quick here. Like, I'm a boomer and Katie is a millennial, so we do this a lot of the time. But it always works out. It always works out. It's kind of fun. We have our we just look at things so differently, but God is gracious, and He just brings it all together and says, okay, this is the direction we're going, and all is well. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. We love each other. We do.
Oh. Okay, so Deanie, Deanie, you guys are both great cooks. And amazing. And we have partaken on many occasions of the goodness of the strengths and gifts that God put inside of you, and you guys are amazing. So, but how do you think that you got this passion for serving? Because it's not even just about the food with you guys. Like, you guys are,
it's not just hospitality either.
There's something about your hearts and the way that you love people, and that probably even inspired now the nonprofit side at the table nonprofit. So, but where did you get your joy of cooking? And then tell us a little bit about the nonprofit.
My joy of cooking, when I got married at 28 years old, I knew nothing. And God blessed me with this precious man, Rich, that had been in the Air Force and lived in the bachelor house, and they always cooked every night. So Rich was the one that taught me to cook and appreciate food, and he loved people. We entertained all the time. Our house was always full. It was just a gift for me. And once I started, I've got like Southern Living cookbooks. I've got a rack, probably about 20 of them. And that's how I learned to cook. I got the cookbooks out, and Rich kind of criticized my scrambling of eggs one morning, and also told me that I didn't know how to bake a potato. So anyway, we got through that early in our marriage, and just everything just kind of blossomed from there. And he loved to eat, and he loved to cook, and I loved to cook, and I loved to eat. So anyway, that's how
it worked out.
It all worked out. Yes, it did. Yeah, and so that joy of cooking, Mom for sure passed down to me as well. I actually have been on the event side of the business, and I think I'm going to step more into the sous chef role. So I'm kind of getting used to being in the kitchen more. But with At the Table Nonprofit, what we want to do, like Mom said, she entertained all the time. When my dad was alive, they would entertain together. So that was my upbringing. I was always in a room full of adults, just having a wonderful time. And little Katie, because I was an only child, just hanging out alone. But I just grew up around that. I grew up around the doors always open to whoever needed to come in, to whoever needed to be fed. And so that is something that we have carried into At the Table Nonprofit. We wanted to share that with everyone. Mm-hmm. So I did not need to be the only recipient, or our friends or Mom's friends were not the only recipient of this beautiful gift of hospitality and just really good food. So how it happened and how the business got started, it was a bunch of baby steps that honestly just kind of snowballed from there. But we say that we want this venue to be an extension of the home. Mm-hmm.
So with the nonprofit specifically, we want to open up to people that don't have a mom that has fed them for 30 years of their lives, they don't have a table to sit at. They don't have a place to go to. And we always say that the table is the great equalizer. Like when you're sitting, you're on the same level.
Yeah.
There's no hierarchy. There's no, well, you've done this or you've done this. Like, no, we're all on the same level. And that's how Mom raised me. That's the legacy that she passed to me. And that's what we want to open our doors for everyone else to feel as well.
That's so good.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Katie, you said two things that just really hit me. You said everybody wants a mom, and how your mom, Deanie, has like this mantle of motherhood. And I think that's so powerful. Like when I walk in to your venue or your home, I feel at home. I feel welcomed and loved, and there's just joy about the way you serve others. And I think that's so healing for this world to see a mother and a daughter love each other, work well together. They're not at each other's throats, and that's like a picture of heaven to me, like the Father's love, and how empowering that is to other women to see that you can do it together, you can cheer each other on, and serve with joy at the same time.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah.
And also, I love how you were saying that you took baby steps and it kind of just snowballed from there. And I think that there might be a lot of our listeners that kind of feel the same way. Like maybe they get stuck with just taking the baby steps, or they think that they have to figure out, step 10. And so because they haven't figured that part out yet, they won't take step 1. And I love that you guys, started in your own kitchen, and then you ended up in a shed, and then you ended up
a really beautiful shed, by the way.
It was very amazing.
The lawnmower wasn't in this shed.
No, this was like a farmhouse, beautiful venue. In fact, we had our staff retreat there a couple years ago.
Our Christmas dinner.
Our Christmas dinner. Yeah, that's what I meant. Christmas dinner. And then last year, we now went to the big venue. So it was baby steps that led to where God was leading, and y'all were just obedient. And I think that there might be people out there, and maybe they do have a heart to like serve meals, or they love to cook and they want to just invite people to the table at their own home. We don't have to, start a catering company or whatever, unless the Lord puts that on your heart. But like, what do you have in your hand right now? And I think, this whole podcast show is Help Her Be Brave. And I think that there are a lot of women that would be a lot more brave if they just felt like they had a place at the table. Yeah. And if they had a place where they felt like they were loved and seen and heard, and just being a part of a family, because maybe they don't have one. And so you guys did that, started small, and I know this is just the beginning. Like you guys opened right before COVID, which is opened the big place right before COVID, which is kind of crazy to start in a venue, but God has been faithful.
Yes.
And we are like, have loved just cheering you guys on and watching God work in and through y'all. And so with At the Table Nonprofit, I know we just all sat down, the 4 of us, just last week about, what could this be? And I love that you guys just have a heart for maybe people that wouldn't be able to afford the venue, like helping nonprofits be able to have, some sort of events there at little or no charge because of donors that you guys have. So people can sow into your ministry of providing a place at the table for, it could be single and pregnant moms. Yeah. It could be a prom for special needs. I mean, it could be women that age out of foster care. I mean, there's different things that it could be, but like you guys just have a heart, want to be Holy Spirit led on how all this works. And even now, as you guys are just now starting the nonprofit. And so to see kind of the ideas and stuff, and we're just going to see what happens. But so far, I know you guys have hosted an Embrace Grace baby shower just right here in our area that has been beautiful. And even just thinking back about the way that we all got connected, it was by you guys donating cupcakes for a baby shower. And then, God just started opening so many doors, and I have loved like just over the past, I don't know, however many years, just working with you guys. And it's just, you guys are a great example of how God just puts a passion, a skill, a gift into someone and into both of you.
Yeah.
And how you just surrendered that to the Lord and said, God, what do you want us to do with this gift of nurturing, a gift of always inviting people in, and a gift of cooking and serving and hospitality and all of that. And you just started with what you have, and now it's grown to something that is huge and amazing. And I know it's just the beginning. Like he's just getting started.
Are you looking for a way to get involved in the pro-life and pro-love movement? We have the perfect place for you and would love to invite you to join the Embrace Grace Revival Alliance. Come be a part of this group of passionate monthly donors, joining us on the exciting mission to help women with unplanned pregnancies brave in their choice for life. You have the opportunity to play a vital part in providing single and pregnant women with spiritual, emotional, and physical support, saving lives of mamas and their babies, both physically and eternally. Visit www.embracegrace.com/donate to learn more.
I want to say something real quick.
Yeah.
Just sitting here listening to you, and it just reminds me that this is our dream. This was our dream many years ago, really, that Katie and I would be together. We had no idea how God was going to bless us so much. But we do to this day stand in that venue and just look around and go, God is in the business of answering dreams. He does that. That's his plan for all of us. He wants to give us everything we ever could want. And all we got to do is be still and ask for it. Sit at a table with somebody. Discuss it. Talk about it. Tell me your dreams. Please come see us. Come tell us your dreams. We'd love to just sit with you and listen. We're here to listen.
Yeah, that's
and we
so
want
good.
you to be seen and heard.
Yeah. I love that. And two, just adding one more thing. I remember one time my sister was at a life group, and there was a life group leader that is just so, like, you can just tell she's so close to God and so connected, and she just like is like an angel. And my sister always like kind of looked up to her. And one time she said, God wants to give you all the desires of your heart. And my sister was like, really? That's I want to believe that, but that kind of feels like, I don't know that I do fully believe that, and so then she kind of took her aside and was talking to her a little bit more. And she said, when your heart is so in sync and intertwined with God's heart, your desires become his desires, and his desires become your desires. And so it's all working in unison. And then it is that he wants to give us the desires of our heart, because he put those desires in our heart, for a reason. And so the closer we get to him, the more we have that. And you guys are just such a beautiful testament to that. And it's just amazing to see. And so I know, there's people that are listening nationally that obviously, can't come out to Argyle, Texas to come to At the Table. Although if you guys are, you totally need to check it out. But maybe there just could be people that are listening that this can spark an idea of what you want to do. And maybe it's just having a once a night, where you have a family dinner, but you invite a single mom and her little kid to come to your house, every Friday night, that is their time to come and be a part of your family. Maybe it's bringing food to a family that has foster children, and it can be a lot of work, and it can be hard, and maybe you want to serve in that way to help them. There's so many different ways around helping people through food like that. Food is
healing, it's nurturing,
yes,
it's comfortable.
Yeah, and just people just feel seen and loved, like what you said, Deanie. But for people that are in your area or just want to reach out and connect in whatever way, how do they get a hold of you? What's your website?
That's a great question. So we are not at the venue all the time. So please just drop in if we're there. If you see our cars outside, you're more than welcome to come say hello. But you can also reach out to us through our website. Our email and our phone number are on there, or Instagram, social media. At the Table TX is the for-profit. At the Table NP is the nonprofit. And we really, Mom has said this, we want to be your friend. And I think something we have loved, Amy and Jessica, y'all specifically, you have been cheerleaders for us. And we everyone needs cheerleaders. We need to know that we're not alone, especially when you're walking through dark seasons. And in those dark seasons, and the world is pretty terrifying right now, honestly, in a lot of ways. So when you're in those dark seasons, the enemy says you're supposed to be alone. You don't need to talk about this. You don't need to go to anybody about this. But in reality, it needs to be the opposite. You need a place to go and to be seen and to be known and to be loved. You need people that come around you and that rally. So for the nonprofit side, if you want to bring a group in of divorced women that have kiddos and don't know what they're doing in this season, we have a table for you. And like Amy mentioned, we have been working with foster girls that have aged out of the system. So if you know a group or if you know a nonprofit that works with a group like that, obviously Embrace Grace, the single mamas that keep their babies, like bring the babies, bring the mamas, bring the dads if they're there. Like we want you to have a place to go to because so often you don't have a home or maybe your home is too small. So, hey, we know a place. It's in Denton and it's called At the Table and our door is literally always open unless we're not there and the door's locked. But then call us and we'll be there.
We're just 2 minutes away.
Right.
We both live pretty close, yes.
Well, thank you guys so much for being on with us today. And we just love what you guys are doing. And we wanted everybody to hear about it. So we're thankful you said yes to being on the show. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
Yay. We love you guys. Thank y'all. Yes, we do.
They are the cutest thing ever. I know. I love how she's just like, come on over and she'd tell us your dreams. And
if I'm not there, call me.
Yeah. And we know them really well.
Yeah.
And they are legit.
They mean it.
They mean that every word. They are so compassionate and kind and they've been through so much, but yet they just want to open their arms to other women that need help and hope and healing. And their food is so dang good. It is.
When they were at our office, it's going to be last week right now, but when this airs, it's not last week. And they walked in and they both gave me a hug and I just didn't want to let go. I know. Like even their hugs are healing. They're so amazing.
They really are. So, well, we just hope that anyone that's listening out there that maybe this kind of sparked an idea, whether it has to do with hospitality or maybe it's something else. Like, I think that there's something to just saying yes with what's in your hand and not having to try to figure it all out. Like they didn't know that God was going to open so many doors that he has. And I know, like I said before, he's just beginning. So don't be paralyzed by fear because you can't figure out what step 3 is. Just go with what you've got in your hand, do and help people and help women be brave with what you can, or men, whatever that might look like, for the world, because we all can make the world a better place. So 100%. Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you guys so much for watching and listening today. Please share this with your friends. If there's anyone that God put on your heart to share this with, please send it on over. You can watch on YouTube and you could subscribe through YouTube, or you can listen through Spotify and iTunes. And please give us great reviews, hit the like button, all the things, because every time you do that, it kind of helps with the algorithm and get it back up to the top. So we are so thankful for all of you that are listening, and check out helpherbebrave.com as well. If you have any show guests, ideas, or if you're just still not sure how to get involved, we have a Help Her Be Brave book with lots of ideas, plus a Help Her Be Brave quiz that is on that website that you can take, and it'll give you a custom list of ways that you can get involved in the movement. So check all that out. Lots of resources. You can't say you don't know what to do because we are providing all of this to you. So thank you so much for listening this week, and we'll see you next.